Good morning. Welcome to Things People Do in Flagstaff. I'm Mike Miller. Today we're here at the Vertical Relief Climbing Center at 205 South San Francisco with Chris Tatum, the Education Director. And he's going to show us just a little bit about the facility and how you teach people to climb rocks. So, Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm awesome. Feel good.
Good, good. So tell us a little bit about this place.
We've been in business for about 11 years, and we offer a place for people to practice rock climbing inside. Okay, so people can come here when it's dark, when it's cold, when it's raining, and still get their fix, still climb.
And are there a lot of places that are real outdoor rocks that you can go climbing around here?
Around here, yeah, there are. We're very uniquely positioned in an area that has many world-class climbing areas within several hours of Flagstaff. So the climbing community here is really huge, and I think that part of the reason that the climbing community is so tight and big is because the climbing gym's here, where a lot of people's first experience with rock climbing. They come in, we teach them the basics, and then they start learning more. I don't know, start getting outside, practicing.
So how long have you been here? How long have you worked?
I've worked here for about 3 years.
Okay. Awesome. Well, so what's the first step in this process?
Well, first I need to get you in a harness, get you some climbing shoes, and then I can start teaching you how to tie in, and we can get climbing.
All right, let's get started.
Let's do it.
These are climbing shoes. What makes these things special? What makes them different?
Well, the whole point of a climbing shoe is to essentially eliminate all the extra rubber that doesn't do anything. In like a regular tennis shoe, your big toe is somewhere in here, right? But we have all this extra rubber underneath that doesn't do anything, so it doesn't add any support and doesn't actually help you climb. So we eliminate that and just put a thin layer of rubber and put it so that the edge is underneath your big toe, which is the most powerful part of your foot. Okay. We also do away with all the tread, so these shoes have kind of a slick sole to them. A lot of people will say, oh, well, these boots are great for climbing because they have all this good tread. Well, it's typically wrong because there's all that extra rubber not doing anything. So get rid of that, and then you make the rubber, it's a soft rubber, which allows it to kind of conform to what you stand on when you add weight to it. So it kind of merges on there. So you want these to fit super tight. Your toes should be right up against the front and even curled a little bit. Okay. If they're painful, then it's not going to be fun. But you want them to be a little uncomfortable. Don't feel like you could go for a jog at Buffalo Park with them. So.
Okay. Well, I'll try these on.
The knot that I'm going to show you how to tie in with is called a figure-8 follow-through knot. All right. It has two main parts, I guess, two steps. The first step is you have to tie the tracer knot. Okay, it's kind of a pattern knot. So what you're going to do is hold the end of the rope in your right hand. Here we are. And I want you to pull out about 4 feet of slack. Okay.
Out there?
Yep. Go ahead and drop the end of the rope. Now you have this fold here. I want you to hold it in your left hand, and you see you kind of have like a head. Imagine it's a head. With the free end of the rope, you're going to choke the head. Okay. And you're going to poke him in the eye. Imagine there's an eye there.
All right.
Okay, pull the knot tight. Okay, so when you're finished, you end up having this knot that looks like the number 8. You see that? Okay. Sometimes you're going to end up with a pretzel, and if you get a pretzel, you just have to kind of mess with it. Okay?
Okay.
So now, your next step is you need to tie yourself into this knot, essentially. Okay? So the first thing you need to do is feed it through 2 parts of your harness. You're going to go down through the top loop.
Okay.
And just follow the blue loop so it goes underneath the bottom part. Okay, so now it goes through 2 parts of your harness, and all you're going to do is retrace what you already have here. Okay. This is simply a pattern. I'll do it for you first so you can see how it goes, but I'm going to start at your harness, and I'm going to retrace the steps. Okay, it goes around, goes back through. See how I'm just staying on the pattern? Okay, it keeps following it around, so that when I'm finished, I end up having double of what I started with. We have 1, 2, 3 pairs of 2. That's when you know it's right. Okay. With this extra slack, our requirement is that you always have enough rope that you can tie a stopper knot. Okay. This knot's really not that important. If it comes untied, it's okay. It's this knot that we're worrying about. This one just keeps the rope out of the way. Okay. So you can go ahead and try and tie it yourself.
Okay.
Now we're we're going to put you into a climbing harness. All right. Climbing harness is made up of three parts. You have the waist belt, right, which obviously goes around your waist. Then you have your leg loops, one for each leg, and then holding them together is this loop here. It's called the belay loop.
Okay.
Right? The way it works is we like to loosen them up a whole bunch so that they're not apart but pretty loose. Loosen up the legs also. Okay. And I'm going to actually end up laying this on the floor for you, but to give you an idea of how this works is the blue loop, the belay loop, is going to be in front. Right? Mine is in front here. That's how it's going to end up going. Misty's going to read upright.
Okay.
Okay. So you can lay this down on the floor, just like that. All I have to do is step into the two little loops.
Okay. Just like that?
And reach down, pull the whole thing up like a pair of pants.
Alright. Just like that?
Yep. And the first thing you want to do is tighten the waist belt.
Okay.
And if you look at mine is like just below belly button level. So pretty high, and you want it to be pretty tight.
Okay.
Even a little tighter than that even. You kind of want this thing to be tight enough where you'd feel like if you were to flip upside down for some reason, you wouldn't fall out of it.
Okay,
It doesn't really happen very often though, so. Okay.
I hope
now,
not.
Most important part of this harness is this buckle, all right?
Okay.
Right now you can see red. Red typically means danger, right?
Right.
So what you need to do is close the harness. You need to double it back.
Okay.
So feed the end of the webbing back through the opposite side of the buckle. Just yank it through. Okay.
Just like that?
Yep, it's doubled back, right?
Okay.
No more red.
Right.
And now you can pull up your leg loops, and you see about how high I have mine. Pull them up pretty high and tighten them down.
All right.
These leg loops are automatically doubled back, so you don't have to do anything.
Lean back. I got you. Walk down with your feet. Walk down with your feet.
So let me show you how I'm going to be holding you while you're up there.
Okay.
Right? We use this device. This little thing looks kind of like a basket. It's called an ATC, and it stands for Air Traffic Controller.
Okay.
And this thing is called a locking carabiner. And the reason it's called a locking carabiner is because it locks when it's closed. To open it, you twist this gate so that it lines up, and when you let go of it, it locks automatically. Okay. So together we call it the belay device. When we use it with the rope, it applies friction in the rope. We can hold tremendous amounts of weight with no effort. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip this to my belay loop. All right. And all I'm going to do is put a fold in the rope at about waist level, and I'm going to shove it through one of the holes. All right. The end of the rope is always going to be on bottom. All right. Looks nice and clean. And I'm going to clip it into the locking carabiner. Once it's clipped in, I should do a check. I should make sure that the wire and the rope are parallel to each other. There aren't any weird twists. All right. And I'm going to make sure that the locking carabiner is locked. Okay. So now, when you're climbing and you fall, all right, we're going to be right there for you. All right?
Okay.
I can hold all of your weight with little to no effort. I can actually hold you just like this with 2 fingers. I'm not going to. I'm going to keep my hand on there the whole time, but that's all I need to do. So.
Okay.
So now before you start climbing, I want to talk to you about your shoes, the way to use them the best, and also your body positioning. Okay, so let's start with your shoes. First of all, you can break your shoes down into thirds. You have the front third, which is the third that you want to be using the most, and then you have your arch, which is the second third, and you don't want to use your arch, and then you have your heel, and you rarely use your heel. Okay, so we're mostly going to worry about your toes. Climb with your toes. I'd like you to just kind of practice that by stepping up on a like this hold here. Just use your toes, okay?
So just like that?
Step up onto the wall.
Okay.
So you can feel you have a lot of power in your toes. Right?
Yeah.
You can feel it's nice and solid. Okay. You don't need to bounce. Okay. Don't bounce at all. Just put your foot on a hold and stand up onto it. It's gonna stick there. So you can step off.
For Things People Do in Flagstaff, from the Vertical Relief Climbing Center, I'm Mike Miller.